and this is what is going to make a huge difference. Arabic Toastmasters, be rest assured that we will be having one of the best DTACs under DTM Nedal, and DTM Mona has been supporting DTM Nedal, and I'm sure Arabic would be equally as English contest actually. So let's all enjoy, which is going to be DTAC, and I'm going to dance during the DTAC for the first time actually. I would be during the gala dinner. You can see me dancing on the floor, so that can be expected actually. So with this, I thank you, Toastmasters Day, and all those who have joined here. Actually, I know we have less participants, but the message would be reaching out, telling that guys, watch out, we are going to make this happen. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Mohammed Salim. Indeed, we are looking forward to see you dancing on the stage of DTAC. Now, let me invite our next versatile District 20 leader, a very familiar face in District 20. Her 8 years Toastmasters journey has been a wonderful journey and experience for all of us. We have seen her in varied roles at the club, area, and division level. She has banked the Best Division Director Award for the year 2017-18. A member of Focus Toastmasters Club, she comes from a service background where she helps people overcome their shortcomings. A physiotherapist by profession who believes in holistic rehabilitation of her patients. She's extremely charismatic and affable leader who has taken pathways training to reach greater heights. Please welcome District 20 Program Quality Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Alifia Lakwala. DTM Alifia, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Bijal. Let me acknowledge the presence of our immediate past Region 11 Advisor, DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali, our District Director, DTM Muhammad Salim, our Club Group Director, DTM Khalid Abdullah, the DTAC Chairman, Toastmaster Yasser, and the versatile 3 DTAC Vice Chair, DTM Rosaline, DTM Jahangir, DTM Nidal, and let's not forget the team, the dynamic team, the education head, the PR head, the marketing head, and members of District 20. Good evening. Well, today launch, as it said, it's first of its kind, one of its kind in District 20 and beyond. The enthusiasm, the spirit, and the dynamism this team has showcased with things being uncertain are amazing. I sincerely want to thank Toastmaster Yasser and his dynamic team today that you all have taken this quest of quality enhancement forward for me. When I launched the mentoring program, many members have approached for contest request. And I happened to speak to one of the vice chair, and then the idea was conveyed to the chairman. And today we are doing this. Thank you for taking this ahead today. And I hope the members of our district, they benefit with the upcoming contest season. We want to see this, and we want to see the enthusiasm, the passion amongst members, because this time we are having contests starting right from the club, which are going to be virtual. So members of District 20, let's gear up, learn from the best, from the panelists who are going to take part, and we are having all 4 categories. So this is the launch where the education team has really put in an effort. The marketing team, the PR team, all of them have worked hand in hand. So I wish greater heights to this team and hoping that we see a physical DTAC 2021 in Bahrain very soon. Back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, DTM Alifia. We all hope to see a physical DTAC in the year 2020-21. Next, let me invite the 3rd District Trio. What do I say about him? He is a member of 3 clubs, Babco Toastmasters Club, Bahrain Advanced Toastmasters Club, and St. Paul Toastmasters Club. As we all know, his purpose in life is to lead his kids by a good example of a father to be followed, and that's the reason he is in Toastmasters. And recently, we also came to know that he enjoys riding bicycle early mornings. Let's welcome District 20 Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Abdullah.
Thank you so much, Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Vijay, immediate past Region 11 advisor, my brother DTM Al Shahbaz Ali, District 20 Director, DTM Hamad Salim, our ever glamorous PQD, District 20 PQD, DTM Ali Filakdawala, the chairperson, Haji Ba'ammar, Toastmaster Yasser Al-Gashar, both vice presidents, who I really adore very much, DTM Rosaline and DTM Jahangir Khan, all of the leaders, the heads of the DTAC, and whoever is in here in this room. Good evening to one and all. Now, I was thinking to say different thing, but let me pick from where the Master of Ceremony just said currently. Yes, I ride bikes. And that day, on a Friday morning, it was really very, very nice weather. We are not used to have such weather in Bahrain, right? So I decided to just go for a ride, for a bicycle ride. And before I go out, I noticed that one of my bike tires were a little bit low on air. So I inflated the tire a little bit, I put some air, and I went on to the journey, enjoying the weather all over. But all of a sudden, I was having those negative thoughts. I was thinking, what if the bike tire is flat? And all of a sudden, instead of enjoying the journey all around, I was thinking of the tire the whole journey. Now let's reflect back to what we are going through now. Aren't we really thinking about that flat tire while we are going through this DTAC? We always feel that, well, yes, we are having DTACs, and we had many, many great DTACs, especially in Bahrain. I remember the last DTAC in Bahrain, or even the DTAC before it. That's the target. That's the vision where we are going through. But at the same time, I don't envy the chairperson or the vice chairpersons, all of the readers in here. We always think of the possibility of ending up in a virtual contest. That's the worst that it could go. Let me tell you a quote that I've been really admiring lately. The whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows. Let me repeat. The whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows, by Cindy Harris. And this is what I see in front of me. I see small windows all around. Some of you might think it's just a mirror. I'm looking at myself. I'm looking at others. But what are the possibilities behind those small windows? What if we can just go deeper into those windows? And instead of thinking that we are confined into this small box, think of all of the possibilities and enjoy the journey. Let's just take our mind, the negative thoughts from our mind for a second, and think of the vision, be it virtual, be it physical. I'm sure all of the leaders that I see in front of me today are capable of making it a memorable event, regardless how it will end up. Leaders, let's enjoy the bike, let's enjoy the journey, and for a second, let's just forget about the flat tire. Over to you, Master of Ceremony.
Thank you, DTM Khalid. Well, now that we have heard from the district trio, let's meet the leader who shall have the reins of DTAC 2021 under his instilling supervision. He is a chemical engineer and currently working with Bahrain National Gas Company, Bana Gas, for 20 years as a superintendent quality control. His journey with Toastmaster dates back to 2012. He is one of the founder member of Bana Gas Toastmasters Club. He has served as Area 9 Director, Head of Protocol for DTAC 2017-18, the largest district in the world then. He has also been the Head of Sponsorship for DTAC 2019. Let's welcome the event chairperson of DTAC 2021, Toastmaster Yasser Al-Qasar.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. DTM Ali Shahbaz, immediate Region 11 advisor. DTM Mohammed Salim, our district director. DTM Olivia, our program quality director. DTM Khalid Abdullah, our club growth director. Leaders of District 20, good evening. Thank you for attending our event tonight, AC the Race. First of all, we'll highlight some point about DTAC 2021 in Bahrain. The DTAC will be on 28 to 29 May 2021. The theme of the DTAC is Together Toward Tomorrow. Our aim to have the DTAC physically in one of the 5-star hotels in Bahrain. But to be honest, this will be finalized later, and it is depend on many factors. The first one is the TI. As per the TI now, they say that all the contest will be virtual, but we are working with our district director and program quality director to have DTAC context in physically here in Bahrain. If we get the approval from the TI, we will have it physically. If not, we will have the context virtually. The second factor is the Bahrain government regulation. We are happy that most of the things here in Bahrain was open, and you can see the life is coming back. So if they allow us to have the conference and the regulation of the limited number of the attendees and the distance between the attendees can be met, then we will have it physically. Also, our patronage acceptance and the sports and search coverage. Our team for DTAC with the 3 vice chairmen, which is we have it the first time here. We have vice chairman for Arabic, DTM Nadal Shomali. Vice chairman for PR and marketing, DTM Jangir Khan, and our sister DTM Rosalind Roy as vice chairman for DTAC for education and logistics. So our team is ready for the 3 options. We are open heart to you. There is 3 options. The first option is to have all the DTAC physically, if everything goes smooth. The second option is to have the opening ceremony, education workshop, award ceremony, and gala dinner, where DTM Mohammed Salim will dance that time. It will be physically, and the contest will be virtual as per the TI, if they don't accept it to have it physically. And the third option, we hope it will not be that it will have all the DTAC will be virtually. So we are praying and optimistic that they will. And by the end of this 2020, we can make it physically. So as they mentioned that DTAC in Bahrain is always unique and a special event. So we will do our best to have the best thing that after this COVID-19. So we will meet all with you and you will enjoy the DTAC. So we are looking forward for your support. And mostly, I am looking forward to welcome you all during the DTAC Annual Conference 2021 physically. Now, I would like to introduce our two vice chairmen for tonight. For in English, DTM Jangir Khan, Vice Chairman of Marketing and BR, DTM Rosalind Roy, Vice Chairman of Education and Logistics. Both of them serve in our district for long time in different roles. They add a lot to our district. First of all, we'll start with our Vice Chairman, DTM Jangir Khan. DTM Jangir, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, our chairman for DTAC 2021, Toastmaster Yasser Al Kashar, immediate past Region 11 advisor, DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali, our PKD District 20, DTM Alifia Lakrawala, our CGD District 20, DTM Khalid Abdullah, our beloved District 20 Director, DTM Muhammad Salim, Chairman, my fellow amazingly talented and respected vice chairs, DTM Rosalind Roy and DTM Nidal Al Shumli, amazing leaders of District 20, fellow Toastmasters, and the guests. Good evening to one and all. Now, from the beginning, we started the meeting. I have been awestruck by the messages from each and every one. The district trio has been emphasizing how important the DTAC is for Bahrain and Kuwait. In the past, we have witnessed amazing DTACs. You name them, all of them were better than one. This year, we are being struck by a big pandemic, and we have been, we have been on a seesaw. I must say that where it is going, but things have been getting better. And from the beginning, our hopes, our goals have been very well mentioned in the books, and we have been planning from the beginning to have an amazing DTAC. Now, one thing which I, as a Toastmaster, believe in, and I believe this is something which has been one of the best quality of District 20. When it comes to creativity, we don't lack anything. So when I was given an option to be the DTAC vice chair, and I was given the PR, the marketing, and logistics, along with the IT team, the most important thing for any event was the PR and the marketing. When I looked for the people to get, I went through all the leaders in Bahrain, but two of the leaders which I found were two of the finest and the young and very talented leaders when it comes to these categories. I'm really happy that I was able to get for the DTAC 2021 our amazingly talented DTM Eunice as the as the head of the PR, and along with that, DTM Zahra as the marketing head. These two leaders have been doing exceptionally well. DTM Eunice, when it comes to creating the design along with his team, has been working extremely hard. But what they say in the organization, it's not like what you produce, that's not the only thing. How you present it to the world means a lot as well and makes the difference. And in that side, I'm really happy that DTM Zahra and the marketing team have been doing exceptionally well as well. So I'm really happy and proud that the PR and the marketing head have been doing justice to the roles they have taken. Now, today we will be introducing for the very first time the theme of DTAC 2021. Now, you might have seen the logo, you might have seen the tagline, but you don't know what it is and where it comes from. It's very unfortunate that I would not be having the head of PR, DTM Eunice, take the lead and present it to you because he's stuck with some family commitment. However, we are having another very talented person from his team. I would like to welcome Toastmaster Fatma Dashti to please introduce us the theme and inspire us. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmaster Fatma Dashti from the team of the PR DTAC 2021.
Thank you so much. I'm very pleased to be here. MashaAllah, Tabarakallah. The screen is full of names here, most of them that I don't know because it's the first time for me. I would like to say hello to everyone. My name is Fatma Deshti. I'm happy to be with you here tonight. I am one of the DTAC 2021 PR team today. Let me share my screen with you. Hope that you all heard the sound. Is it audible for you all?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, first of all, thank you for allowing me to be with you tonight here. I am very honored to be here instead of DTM Yunus Abdelal, the head of for English and Arabic for DTAC 2021. Okay, you have seen the logo in the beginning of our launch for this show. But what does it mean, this logo? The horse was chosen as logo due to its connection with the Kingdom of Bahraini heritage. The idea of the horse is its characteristics such as speed on the racetrack and strength and stability was all linked to the characteristics of Toastmasters on the competition platform. This is, as you see, the logo for DTAC 2021. Will be held, inshallah, in Bahrain on 28th and 29th May 2021. And from what you can see in this slide now, we have replaced number 1 to each stage of launching in Bahrain. The connection between Formula 1 and Toastmasters is shown for you now. Why? Because number 1 in year 2021 was chosen to replace it by the type of year. We would like to congratulate Bahrain on the success of Formula 1 race that was held yesterday. Number 1 to be replaced by the historic Formula 1 platform. This is Bahrain International Circuit. This is one of the symbols in Bahrain Kingdom. Modern circuit for sporting actions. Okay. The connection between the Formula 1 and Toastmasters because of the enthusiasm, the strength, and competition to win. Bahrain International Circuit, as we said, is one of the most important modern sporting icons. It's really spirit that challenge. It is the same that fuels the leadership and speaking skills in Toastmasters. With you, Toastmasters Fatma Deshti, Public Relations Team for English for DTAC 2021. We'll be happy for any extra information or contact us. You can contact us at +973 33 44 55 and 67. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Fatma Deshti, for explaining to us what is the logo all about, what is the hype all about. A beautiful logo, a beautiful artwork by an amazing leader and his team members. Wishing you all the very best. And with this, I would like to give control back to our amazing chairman, Toastmaster Yasser Al-Kashar. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jahangir and Toastmaster Fatma Dashti for amazing working for our logo and explain what is the meaning of the logo. It is one of the best logo that we have, and it is a great job done by BR and the Vice Chairman. So thank you all. Now we'll go with our second Vice Chairman, DTM. I say my sister, DTM, Rosaline Roy, Vice Chairman for Education and Logistics. DTM Rosaline, floor is yours.
Thank you, Chairman DTM Yasser. Immediate past Region 11 Advisor DTM Ali Shabazz Ali, District 20 Director DTM Mohammed Salim, Program Quality Director DTM Alifia, Club Tour Director DTM Khalid Abdullah, my fellow Vice Chairmans, Chairman of course DTM Yasser, and my fellow Vice Chairmans DTM Nadal, DTM Jahangir Khan, and to the wonderful audience, the members of District 20. Good evening. DTAC 2021, an event of a spectacular kind, is all set to begin on May 2021. When I was asked to take up the role as a vice chair, I felt it was a privilege for me, for I always believe in serving the district. And taking up the role as a vice chair for DTAC was one such privilege which gave me an opportunity and which will give me an opportunity to make DTAC a grand success. And I took up the committees of surgeon at arms, registration, finance, and then the key, education. Our education team has really been working hard for this launch event, as you all know. They not only are working hard for this event, but for the DTAC 2021. They're planning to get the best of the best keynote speakers and to have a spectacular contest, one of its kind, which will be showcased on May 2021. So let me go ahead in introducing my education team. It's not one, but two heads who have been really working hard for this launch. Toastmaster Vishwanath and Toastmaster Nazreen Sheikh. Both of them are expertise in their own field. Commitment and dedication are the keywords that we could describe these two leaders. So let me welcome first DTM I'm promoting you, Toastmaster Vishwanath, to share a few lines about himself as the head of education. Toastmaster Vishwanath.
Thank you very much, DTM Roslyn Roy, DTAC Vice Chair, Event Chairman, Toastmaster Yasser, District 20 officials, my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening one and all. Coming together is beginning. Moving together is progressing. And working together is the success. Dr. Ramses merely said that understanding comes through communication, and through understanding we find the way to peace. My dear fellow Toastmasters and guests, is to raise to DTAC 2020-21, which is going to laying the foundation stone by today. The basement being strong, then we can see the event which is going to be held on May 28th and 29th, 2021. Inshallah, it will be physical meeting and we can join together Kuwait and Bahrain, not only Kuwait and Bahrain, the entire world can join us for the wonderful event which is going to be held on May 28 and 29. And we learn the best in moment of enjoyment. We need to enjoy each and every moments, and then finally we can achieve the success with the Almighty helps. Thank you everyone for being here today with us, and this wonderful support we need to get until end of our DTAC 2021. Is the race to DTAC 2021. Over to you, Madam President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishwanath. I always address Toastmaster Vishwanath as 24/7. I mean, who always works. And anytime you call him for any event, he always is there to help us out and support us. That is Toastmaster Vishwanath. And then we have the next head of education, Toastmaster Nazreen Sheikh. She's a very meticulous person, and commitment is one word that you can always describe her, whichever role she takes up. So I would like to invite Toastmaster Nazreen Sheikh to speak a few words.
Thank you. Thank you, Vice Chair, for those encouraging words. Good evening, District Trio, Immediate Past Regional Advisor, DTM Ali Shahbaz Ali, my Vice Chairs, the event chairman, my co-leaders, visionaries. As introduced, I'm Toastmaster Nazreen Sheikh, a very uncommon face in the Toastmasters fraternity, but I have always believed that the vision of leadership cannot be learned or taught. It's a virtue that can only be polished with time, and this is what DTAC has given us. We are working with a team together towards tomorrow with a passion and ripple that will create not a larger than life event, but an event which will fit into everybody's virtual aspects of what an DTAC event should be. So please encourage us and be with us and support us, and hope to have a great DTAC 2021 event. Thank you, and over to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nasreen. As our CGD mentioned, you are a familiar face in District 20 and you are in our hearts. Wow, what an energetic and enthusiastic team of DTAC 2021. Let's give a big round of applause to the whole team of DTAC 2021. Now, let me introduce the timer for today's session. She's a teacher by profession and a Toastmaster since 2013. Winner of International Speech and Table Topics at area level and a recipient of Triple Crown Award. Currently, she is the president of Adari Toastmasters Club. Please welcome our timer, Toastmaster Roshni Murali. Dr. Ralph C. Smedley, the founder of Toastmasters, said, "Ours is the only organization I know dedicated to the individual. We work together to bring out the best in each one of us, and then we apply these skills to help others." Sharing makes you bigger than what you are. The more you pour on, the more life will pour in. So share what you know and you will continue to grow. Today we have amongst us an expert panelist for evaluation as well as table topic who will share their expertise and experience with us. James Garfield, the 20th President of United States, said, "For a 30-minute speech, you need 2 days to prepare. For a 15-minute speech, you need 3 days to prepare. And for a 10-minute speech, you need a week to prepare." If that is the case, how long do you think to prepare for an impromptu table topic session? Well, this leads us to $1 million question, and that is, how do I prepare for an unprepared session? And that is exactly what we are trying to share in our today's table topic session. Our panelists today will share the tips and techniques on how to prepare for a table topic session. The difference between contest and a champion is all about its preparation. So let's hear from our panelists who will help you progress from a contestant to a champion.
Table topics evaluation.
So let's focus. The light on action with our moderator for the table topic session. He is Masters in Management and a Toastmaster since 2018. An excellent trainer and a popular face in District 20, he is very well known for his Pathways workshops. Currently, he is a member of 3 clubs, President of Karnataka Toastmasters Club, Area 2 Director, and District 20 Pathways Manager. He is also the Region 11 Recognition Officer. Please welcome our moderator, Toastmaster Roshan Lewis. Toastmaster Roshan, the floor is all yours.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremony. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to this curtain raiser event, a panel discussion on table topics. It's my pleasure to be your moderator today for this first panel discussion. We have 3 wonderful panelists here today. It will be my pleasure to cruise them along with you to wonderful nuances of table topics and sharing the knowledge with you all. So let me go directly introducing our 3 wonderful panelists today. We have first panelist, Toastmaster Snehal Sawant. Toastmaster Snehal Sawant is a Toastmaster since 2012. She has been the president of Bright Horizons Toastmasters Club and strongly believes in the values of the organization, which have helped her to grow as an individual. Division F table topic champion and represented the division in DTAC in 2020. By profession, she's a content writer and editor. She's passionate about health and fitness, an avid reader, a food lover, and coffee addict. Me too, coffee addict. She enjoys deep, thought-provoking conversation that fire up the mind. So we welcome our panelist, Toastmaster Snehal Sawant. Let me go to a second panelist. We have second panelist, distinguished Toastmaster Meenakshi Sundaram. Distinguished Toastmaster Meenakshi Sundaram is a Toastmaster for 13 years. He has competed in district level in humorous international and table topics. He won 2nd place in international speech category in 2019 DTAC. I was in fact audience for that speech and member of 3 clubs. Meenakshi Sundaram is also an avid blogger and John Maxwell team certified speaker, trainer, and coach. Let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster Meenakshi Sundaram as our second panelist. We have a third panelist, Toastmaster Nilesh Attar, the young and energetic club president, South Kuwait Toastmasters Club, associated with Toastmasters International since February 2017. Toastmaster Nilesh held different positions like VP Education, Secretary, and Treasurer in club. He was humorous contest finalization, DTAC 20. I was also an audience for this contest. By profession, senior reliability engineer at Equate Petrochemical Company in Kuwait. His hobbies are reading books and watching documentaries on nature and science. So all 3 panelists are here with us. So my session will go on 3 phases, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. And phase 1 will be 3 panelists will be talking on 3 subjects: focus, lights on, and action. End of each session, I'll be asking 2 minutes, my questions, I'll be asking them. And after the session, phase 2, our panelists will be talking on the ballot. Each panelist will be explaining about the ballot. It's the most important for the contestant. And phase 3, we will be having a very important session which you will enjoy. I will going to give a practical session to our panelists. 2 of the panelists will be talking on topic which I will be giving them. So it is just like theory and practical. So let's start with the first panelist, Toastmaster Snehal Sawant. Over to you, Toastmaster Snehal Sawant. You'll be talking on focus, fear to passion, prepare to perform, and concentrate to communicate. Over to you, Toastmaster Snehal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roshan. And good evening, District 20 Toastmasters. What a spectacular occasion it is today as the ball sets rolling for DTAC 2021. I'm truly honored to be a part of today's event and especially thrilled because I'm asked to discuss my favorite subject, table topics. 8 odd years ago, when I joined Toastmasters, I would consider them as terror topics. I dreaded them. And I would watch with amazement how some speakers nailed it every single time. What was their secret? And over the years, after having myself contested at various levels, I realized that it's not only about the performance during the table topics contest, but equally important is what we do behind the scenes, how we prepare on our journey towards the contest. And as we embark upon that journey today with this curtain raiser, let me dive straight into the 4 secrets that have helped me prepare over the years. Secret number 1, the habit of reading. Reading gives us new insights. It equips us with ideas to handle a variety of topics. These days, news apps and online books are available to us at our fingertips. But at the same time, we are more distracted than ever. There are so many distractions around us that we tend to just browse through news snippets. Sometimes we only read headlines. What I would suggest is to dive deeper, dig deep into articles that give you in-depth analysis, or read books. It will help you present credible information and perhaps something different that other speakers may not touch upon. For example, I recently read Becoming. It's a memoir written by Michelle Obama, the former First Lady of the United States. It gave me insights into her life, how she found her voice and created her own identity. The next time I was asked to speak on leadership in one of the table topic sessions, I was immediately able to draw examples from her life because it had resonated with me. Secret number 2, dig deep into your own life. Well, our lives, I believe, are gold mine of stories. Even if you think that nothing dramatic has happened in my life, observe closely. Every conversation, every incident is material for table topics. What have been the turning points in your life? Who are the people who have influenced you? What are the experiences that have affected you? For example, I had 2 dreams in my life: to wear the India color, represent India at Olympics, be a professional athlete, and later to be an IPS officer. Well, I failed at both. Major heartbreaks. I often talk about my failures during my table topics and what I learned from them, how I picked myself up, who were the people who helped me, and I found a new path. All of us have ups and downs in our life. Speak about those. Nothing connects more with the audience than a personal story. Secret number 3, practice, practice, practice some more and work with mentors. Have you ever felt, at least I did, that some people appear to be natural at table topics? No topic deters them. They can speak on anything. The fact is, they appear natural because they never miss an opportunity to speak. The more times you speak, the more impact, the more practice your brain has to retrieve information. Last year, when I was prepping for contests, I worked with my mentors and some friends. We formed a WhatsApp group where every day they would send me topics and I would respond with voice notes. They would send me feedback and I would deliver again on the same topic. This would help me improve and have a sharper response. What works better for me, how my voice sounds, how I'm articulating my thoughts. And my fourth and final point comes with a disclaimer, because this has worked for me and it will work for people who, like me, have difficulty articulating their thoughts. I find it sometimes difficult to express myself, and Table Topics is all about organizing your thoughts. So what I do is I write a journal. There are numerous methods of journaling. I would be happy to help those who want to speak more about it after the meeting. I write every morning in my journal and have realized that I'm able to retrieve my memory, organize my thoughts better when I speak at Table Topics. With that, I conclude by reiterating my points. If your eyes are on DTAC podium, begin preparation now. Read, dig deep into your life, practice and work with mentors, and maintain a journal. In the end, let me leave you with a thought. If you fail to prepare, be prepared to fail. Over to the moderator.
Thank you very much to Toastmaster Snehal for that wonderful thoughts. I love those three points in that: practice, practice, and mentor. And also you can keep an eye on this podium of DTAC 2021. Now, coming straight from moderator's studio to a simple question to you, what I heard from your presentation. I want to ask a question. I think this is the regular question we may be having in our mind. Don't we lose our spontaneity if we prepare for table topics according to a certain formula? Shall I repeat the question?
Yes, please.
Don't we lose our spontaneity if we prepare for table topics according to a certain formula?
Thank you, Toastmaster Roshan. This question has hounded me a lot, and I've really spoken to so many people about this. I used to think too that we will, lose spontaneity if we prepare so much and keep topics ready. Well, no, that will happen only if you're lacking in enthusiasm and confidence, because only you know that you have worked as per formula. Nobody else knows. Once you go up there, you have those 2 minutes to speak. If you show exuberance, spontaneity will follow. Moreover, you may prepare on various subjects of success, friendship, motivation, etc. But you're never going to know the exact topic, right? It is always going to be a surprise for you. So there's no question of losing spontaneity. We must prepare, I think. Don't worry about the spontaneity.
Thank you very much. And the second quick question, I would be expecting your answer also, like table topics, quick answer, which came into my mind. Let me ask you, is it important to use quotes from famous personalities in your table topic speech?
Okay, quotes, it's a very individual choice. If you're absolutely confident that you can remember the perfect quote in the right context, go for it. But one must remember that you have only 2 minutes. Don't spend too much time. You'll lose 30 to 40 seconds with a quote, perhaps. Maybe you have something more interesting to say. So make a choice as per the situation.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Snehal. Now let me move on to the second panelist, distinguished Toastmaster Meenakshi Sundaram. You'll be talking on Lights On. The topics will be listen and silence, gather and ready, and set up the mindset. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Meenakshi Sundaram.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roshan. Your energy is contagious.
Thank you.
I will start with, you gave me 3 options.
Yes.
So I start with the main mindset first.
Okay, sure.
Because other 2 follows. Mindset, why I'm saying that take mindset first is because, see, the contest actually begins if you're in a physical setup, or even in virtual setup, the moment you sign the eligibility form. Because the next that's going to follow is the draw of lots. Now, if you're not really prepared when you are signing the form, generally what happens, the draw of lots come and you get the first number, then you get flustered. It has happened to me. I've seen many people, moment at first, oh, I don't want first. So you have to prepare your mind before, when the moment you sign the paper, you should be ready. The confidence should actually come into your mind. You should smile. You should, there's a famous TED talk by Professor Amy Cuddy, who talks about how body postures can bring confidence into your, into your mind. So keep a good body posture, smile, and be ready. The way you walk to the stage, the way you stand there, look at the audience. Now it is virtual, of course, but still the way you stand in front of the camera and smile makes a huge difference. So mindset comes first. Everything is mindset. So mindset is the moment you sign the eligibility form, start preparing for the contest. The second one is listen and silence. Of course, the silence and listen goes hand in hand. For you to listen, you have to have silence. When I talk about silence, our mind actually it's a magical tool. It actually can make magic in so many situations, but sometimes it actually gives you unwanted magic. And you're there standing on stage, it keeps thinking about so many things. So you have to quiet down. I'm not saying that you should stand there and do meditation. Don't do that. You have to listen to the table topics there, but quiet down your mind. And why I say this is actually, we are all victim of autocorrect. Yes, in our phones. Now, autocorrect is again invented by a human. Why? Because we do it every time. When someone is talking to us, our mind is autocorrecting. The moment I say today, your mind is thinking, oh, today is a great day, today is a bad day. Now, all those words are already coming in your mind. So you have to remove the autocorrect from your mind and wait for the topic master to give you your topic. Because sometimes there can be similar sounding words like sail and fail. And we can speak fantastically. But if the topic is not listened properly, it's like writing a great chemistry answer for a physics exam. Now, the third one is gather your ideas. Now, standing there, you're going to get so many ideas in your mind. You have to weigh it down, don't jump. Try and argue it yourself, plus, minus, which one I should take, and see if you can pick up an experience. Whichever you're going to speak, if you can get some experience, think from that particular perspective. So gathering ideas is seeing whether you can pick up an experience rather than what is it you're going to say. The experience can lead you to a great comment, not your ideas. So I would say when you're gathering ideas, look for an experience from your life. Don't go with whatever your mind says, weigh it out, and then look for an experience. This is what I want to say for 3 points. So get ready with your mindset, listen, and then gather your ideas. Over to you, Toastmaster Roshan.
Wonderful. Distinguished Toastmaster Meenakshi Sundaram. I'll come straight to the question now. I love that autocorrect. I want to ask you, shall we disable autocorrect mode or we keep it enabled during this table topic session?
See, a table topic, when you are listening to the topic master, I would say that you have to disable the autocorrect mode. Otherwise, what happens sometimes, like say similar sounding words, this is where the problem happens, because your mind is telling something and then probably the topic master is giving something else. And then, you go with what your mind says. So you have to avoid, putting the words. That's what we do generally when we are in a dialogue, when someone is talking to us, even before they could finish, we try to finish a sentence.
Yeah, so, thank you.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So I have one more quick question. Should I pick the first thought I get on the topic and speak, or should I wait? If I have to wait, how long I can wait before I start to speak?
Okay, I will answer the second question first. How long one can wait? Generally, I think 15 seconds to 20 seconds is acceptable. I don't think judges will be worried about that actually. That's a reasonable time to wait. Now, whether to go with the first thought or not, again, it's an experience, because I have gone with first thought, whatever has come to my mind, and generally, I've hit a dead end. You start so fast, and then you go and hit a dead end. I don't know what to speak after that. So it's better to wait for two or more ideas, or if you can get an experience, that's better. So don't go with the first idea immediately. Try and see if you can get 2 or 3 ideas to see which one is better within 15 seconds. If you stand there and wait for the ideas, then you will cross time. So you have to balance it out completely.
Thank you.
I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Autocorrect on and off, and the wait, listen, and attack. Thank you very much. That was the answer. I got it from you. So we are on time. Let's move on to our third panelist. We have Toastmaster Nilesh Atarde. He will be speaking on action, the first bite, flow and glow, and connect and conclude. So over to you, Toastmaster Nilesh.
Thank you, Moderator Roshan. And thanks to all the district officials and the DTAC panel for giving me the opportunity to talk on this particular venue. I'm really excited. So when we talk about communication, the most important thing, which is nothing but hearing what is not said. There is a very good quote by Peter Drucker. So the meaning here is that whenever we convey any message, the way of conveying is more important than the message itself. So same happened with the table topics, because the expectation of the audience is that that speaker will deliver a well-organized speech in a very short time. So this is the challenge. And this challenge can be overcome by looking at the 3 steps, which already moderator has talked about at different section of your speech. So the first is the first bite. First bite is nothing but the whole essence of the speech lies in the first impression. So how you appear on the stage, what is your opening message, and how you look at the audience when you just stand in front of them. Like time of 15 to 20 seconds. So that is the time where you need to build your whole speech, which you're going to deliver in this upcoming 1 or 2 minutes. So actually, if you look at the opening message, so how long you can keep the opening message?
I think, have we lost Toastmaster Nilesh? We'll wait for him for some time. Meanwhile, I'll engage our panelists. There's one suggestion from our audience, Toastmaster Soy Paul. This is maybe for organizers. Important thing, what I have felt, not I, Toastmaster Soy Paul. Important thing, what I have felt, choose proper table topic master. He or she should ask slowly and clearly. I feel this is most important what DTM Meenakshi Sundaram was talking. It's connected to that. So this point to the organizers. Now coming to this, till he joins, let me take the question. There is one question for Toastmaster Snehal from Toastmaster. Okay, Toastmaster Nilesh, are you back? Can you say hello?
Yeah, I'm back.
Can you say is the base? Can you say is the base?
Yes, the A is the base. Is it okay? I'm audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Thanks. Please carry on.
Yeah. So I was talking about the first bite. So the first impression is very important. So whenever, let us say you get any topic, you need to frame the opening in only 1 sentence. So try to limit in 1 sentence. So you will be utilizing only maximum 30 seconds and use the same 30 seconds to greet the audience and followed by positioning yourself on the stage for the next part of the speech. So the second comes is flow and glow. What this means is now you started delivering your main part of the speech. Now you are throwing ideas or justifying, are you agreeing with the topic or disagreeing with the topic, right? So in this way, you may be supporting your particular discussion either with the story or like supporting with one experience. Don't try to, make so much of a mess inside this. So you need to only choose only one experience or any incident and just build a story on it. So try to limit yourself, limit the characters, like you're explaining some conversation between two people or three people. Have only two people and a very small interaction so that the audience will understand what exactly you're going to say in a very short time. Now, the third part is the connect and conclude. Connection between the audience is very important. Now, what happens in table topic is that since the time is very less, so in a hurry, we talk very fast, or sometimes we think so much that we get blank. Nothing comes to our mind. And then we take long pauses, and then everything gets messed up and we got disconnected with the audience. So we need to understand that, be calm, relax, and then talk in such a way that you're just discussing with your friend, not like you're preparing and delivering a speech in front of the very big audience. So if you keep in mind that the audience are your friends, your colleagues, and you're just giving your opinion on that particular topic, you will be easily get connected and you will get a very good response from the audience. And for the last part, which is the conclusion part, it should be like a brief about what is the outcome of your discussion, or you can end up with the quote also. So in a nutshell, what I want to explain here is that audience are not only perceive the verbal message, but they also interpret how you structure your story, how you position yourself on the stage, how you behave on the stage, and how you project the message in front of them. So that's for my side. Thank you to all of you, and good luck to all the upcoming DTAC table topic participants. Over to moderator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nilesh. We lost you for 1 minute. You came back. Thank you very much. And I love that hurry and bury spoils your effort. When you talk hurry, entire effort will be buried. That's most important. We think back of the mind, 2 minutes, so let me rush. It's not the speed, it's the content. And when Toastmaster Soy Paul asked this statement, he gave a suggestion. Question came to my mind. What should I do if I do not understand the topic? I'm on stage and topic is asked, I do not understand the topic, what should I do?
I think this always happens with most of the speakers, because sometimes the message is not very clear to us, because sometimes it is maybe in the quote, in the phrase, and we never heard of it. And this is a very critical point where we do not understand what to do. So what is more important, if you're not understanding the message itself, you can ask the table topic master to either repeat it. So you'll get a little more time to think over it. And second part, if you really not at all understand what exactly the meaning, I think better to choose a word and then link it with your experience and just build a story on it. That's what I want to suggest.
Thank you. I remember one of the speaker was speaking. Thank you very much, table topic master, for this table topic. This table topic I got very first time. This table topic is very nice. I would love to talk about this table topic, and this table topic I'm sure all will understand. By the time 1.5 minutes over, but he completed his table topic. So that's also the strategy can be used. The second question, continuation of this. Does repeating the topic during the speech adds value?
I do not agree with this, because what happens, you have very limited time. And then you again repeat that, like, okay, thank you, Toastmaster, for giving me the topic, and this is the topic. So already you lost 30 seconds of your valuable time. Instead of that, better you can rephrase the topic in your own statement and then make your own opening. So that would be the, I think, better option.
Thank you.
To do it.
Thank you very much. So with this, we conclude our phase 1. Thank you very much. We are on time. Let's move on to phase 2 now. That's a simple 6 minutes. I want you, each one of you, contribute 2 minutes. Where I'm coming, all of you may be knowing, I am going to show this ballot. Shall I show the ballot? We'll be discussing on ballot. Panelists, shall I share the panel? Okay, thank you. So I'll be sharing the ballot. So each one will be talking. I'll start with Distinguished Toastmaster Meenakshi Sundaram. He will be talking on content part of this ballot. And Toastmaster Nilesh will be talking on delivery part of this ballot. And Toastmaster Snehal will be talking on language part of this. This is the most important. Many of the contestants, we just neglect ballot. Over to you, Distinguished Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roshan. Yes, we look at the ballot, 55 points. 55 points comes from content. And that includes speech development, basically it's opening, body, conclusion, smoothness of the transition. Now, basically how you organize your comment. That is going to carry 30 points. Yeah, 30 points. So, why we say that you look for one experience is because the content will become easy if you can get one experience. Otherwise, you're going to struggle actually to make a content look like a neat one. So get one experience and you can have a good opening, put your content and then go for a closing. It's like prep method, point, response, example, point. So that's the easiest and best method. So that's for your speech development. And then comes the effectiveness. Now you may be wondering, effectiveness, it's logic, understandable, content, yes. But directness, enthusiasm, achievement of purpose, content, okay. But directness, enthusiasm and audience response, how it is part of a content. It's actually delivery, isn't it? See, the point here is your delivery is affected by what you have in the content. If your story is impactful, your delivery is going to be impactful. So that's the reason why this comes under content. 25 points you're getting out of your logic, your directness, enthusiasm, achievement of purpose. So what you're speaking, whatever you're agreeing, disagreeing, whether it's actually making point. And then finally, audience response. So once you have all these things, you're going to get a positive audience response. So again, people may think directness and enthusiasm is actually delivery, but there is a reason why it is coming under content. Because what you're going to choose to speak, that's going to give you the power to have the natural body language and enthusiasm. So 55 points you're going to get from your content. You have your content done properly, then you have a good competition in your hand. Over to you.
Thank you. Wow, nice interpretation. Let me go to our second panelist, Toastmaster Nilesh. You will be talking on delivery part of the ballot. Over to you, Toastmaster Nilesh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roshan. So delivery actually scores almost 30% of the whole points. So 30 points given to delivery, which includes your physical and the voice categories. So this is talks about your all non-verbal communications and how you position yourself during the transition. If you have characters in between your speech, or you are talking about past, present, or future, anything. So the first is appearance, like whether you are appearing in the formal attire or what is your dress code. So mostly I suggest that you should have a formal attire because you may not be knowing what the topic is. So we cannot be prepared for that. So formal attire is always better. And then body language, like how you move your hand gesture, which is whether it is aligned with your speech, whether you're smiling, what's your facial expressions, whether the speaking area, are you, covering the whole stage, moving from one end to another end. So this matters. So this physical movement gets you almost 15 marks. Then the second part is the voice part. Voice is very important because the clarity in words, the volume of the voice, whether it is audible to the everyone, or while you're connecting with the audience, when you're asking the questions, how you are modulating your voice. So this is very important. And then it also scores 15. So like I said during the panel discussion that, yes, are you talking very fast or very slow? So whenever you're emphasizing a thought, whenever you're emphasizing any words, you need to take care of your voice. Give pauses, emphasize with a more weightage to the voice so that it will be very easily understandable by the audience. So this two parts, like physical and the vocal, gives you a total of 30 marks. over to moderator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nilesh, for brief and very apt answers for this part of the ballot. So let me move on to content writer and editor, Toastmaster Snehal. Very important, her business it is for the language part of the ballot.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roshan. Let me get right into the topic. So language has far lesser points than content and delivery, just 15 out of 100. But yet I feel it can make a difference. As you go higher into the contest, from area to division to district, the competition becomes stiff. If all the speakers have strong content and delivery, you could gain an edge in this area. Let me give you a few quick tips. Build a vocabulary bank. Use rich, precise words that enhance your speech. Note down words that you find impactful and try and use them during your practice sessions. Do your best to avoid mundane and repetitive words. Instead of saying, I was very angry, say, I was furious. Instead of saying, it was an amazing day, say, it was a magnificent day or it was a glorious day. It had a great impact on me. Instead of using great, you can say it had a profound impact on me. You see, it adds value. Another point is to maintain clarity. Clarity comes with using the correct tenses and maintaining them throughout your speech. Don't jump from, you start with past tense and suddenly you go into future tense. The audience can get confused. Practice during your club meetings and make sure you're using the right tenses. One thing I really would like to stress upon is painting a picture in the listener's mind. Now, how do you do that? So use vivid words and describe a scenario. You can use dialogues too. For example, I went home one day and found my daughter crying, sitting in a corner, clutching onto her favorite toy. She told me in between sobs, Mom, my friends were laughing at me today. So you see, immediately the audience is seeing what you are describing, a corner of the house, the daughter crying. And finally, do your best to use correct pronunciations. Now, it is absolutely understandable. Many of us are non-native speakers. So there are bound to be pronunciation issues. I myself mispronounce many words, but we must try and improve by asking our club members to give us feedback and showing us where we go wrong. It won't change overnight, but it is a lifelong process and we are all here to improve. So these points hopefully can help you gain marks in this section of language.
Yeah, thank you very much. You are informed us add one more bank in our portfolio, vocabulary bank. Surely we'll add it. So lovely. Thank you very much all the panelists for this ballot. Now we are going to move into phase 3. Very interesting session. Now I'll be making 2 speakers and I'll give you one topic, same topic. And you will be talking, one of you in agreement. I'll tell who will talk on agreement when I give the topic. And one speaker, same topic, will talk on disagreement. Challenge accepted? Okay, all 3. So let me select now first. Toastmaster Nilesh, you will be my first speaker today. The topic is, Toastmaster Soipal, please listen to me. If I am not clear, please inform me. The topic is, fear is one of nature's best gift to mankind. Fear is one of nature's best gift to mankind. Toastmaster Nilesh Atade, you have to talk for the topic.
Okay. The main reason for joining the Toastmaster International is to overcome the fear of public speaking. Do you all agree with me? Yes, thank you. I do remember my first club meeting when the club president called me on stage and asked me to introduce myself and say some few words regarding the meeting proceedings. I do remember that day, I was so scared. I was sweating. I could not express words about myself. 4 years later, I became the president of the club and now calling the guests on stage to share their experience. How come? So, because fear brings change and creativity. if you look at our mankind history, when we were afraid of wild animals, we developed weapons. We start moving to caves, then followed by villages and cities. When we got scared of big ocean, we created ships, bridges. So when people, mankind go everywhere across the continent, there is always a fear, right? And fear drives us beyond the boundaries so that we look for different options. We analyze facts and figures and dangers associated with that. And then we choose the best solution out of it. So in a conclusion, I can say that the existence of whole society, the unity of people, and even the growth of the mankind could not be achieved if we did not scared of it. Over to moderator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nilesh. Now I have compromised one of the system in table topic. I have not moved DTA Meenakshi into breakout room. Okay, so let's compromise. Now I will come into topic. Fear is one of the nature's best gifts to mankind. Fear is one of nature's best gift to mankind. DTM Meenakshi, you will be speaking disagreement of the topic.
Let me first remove one word from the topic that you gave, nature. See, nature doesn't even know that it is giving you a gift. Okay, so let us not blame nature on this. Let's talk about fear, whether it is a gift or not. Okay, I will only address that. Now, let me give you one example. I can speak for myself. See, I was in school. I was probably 3rd or 4th grade. I don't remember. I still remember this teacher. It was an exam. I was not fully prepared. My sheet was completely blank, sitting and thinking about it. She comes in, she looks at me and says, "You are copying." I was like, "There is nothing in my sheet." No, I saw you trying to copy. And she punished me for that. So from that moment onwards, whenever she is coming into the class, I was filled with fear that what's going to happen? She is going to again blame me for something. She is going to punish me for something. And she did. She used to punish me for something or other. So whole year went only on that fear that what's going to happen to me in that particular classroom. Now you mean to say this is a gift that she gave to me? It's a curse. That one year I suffered actually. And I'm sure there are many like me who would have suffered in different ways. Probably there are kids now who don't know, probably some rocket will fall and the entire family will get killed. They are living in fear. Is that a gift? I don't understand. So if you say fear is a gift, I mean nature, I remove nature because nature don't even know that it is giving you a gift. It can give so many things. Whether it is a gift or not, it's up to you. So nature we remove. We talk about fear, whether it is a gift or not. In my opinion, based on my experience, I would say not that all the fears that comes into your life can be termed as gift. There are so many unwanted fears being instilled in your mind by people for whatever reason. Is that a gift? No, it's a curse. Am I speaking so slow or the timer is not there?
Timer is calculating. You have last 15 seconds.
Okay, I was wondering, there is no light there. Perfect. Anyway, so that my topic is this. So I disagree that you cannot simply say that all the fears are gift to mankind. No, I don't agree for it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Fellow audiences, you might have seen how two speakers within a fraction of minutes, same topic, how they presented in different views. So it's how you think, how you present and how you analyze the topic. That's very important. Now, without wasting time, let's go to a major final phase. That's a question and answers. I have one question here from Toastmaster Saurabh Chandra. Its question is for Toastmaster Snehal. Can you elaborate on how journaling works?
Okay, so there are various methods of journaling. Some people do bullet point journaling. Some people write down the major emotion that they felt during the day into their journal. This helps them discover themselves, organize their thoughts, and be able to reproduce them when they are asked to speak or when they have to speak on that particular issue the next time. So for me personally, every day before I sleep, I write down about one incident that had that affected me or was emotional, something that made me angry or something that made me sad, some worries that I have. And moreover, I'm a person who has at the same time 20 tabs open in my brain, like a computer. I have a monkey mind jumping between thoughts. It's all jumbled up sometimes. Writing helps me clear my mind, and I think that has really had a big impact on my table topics.
Thank you, Toastmaster Snehal, and thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh Chandra, for putting that question in chat room. And there's one more important question from Toastmaster Soy Paul. Originality rule applicable to table topic, question mark. Originality rule applicable to table topic, question mark. Who can answer? Any panelists, you're open. Yeah, I see unmute. DTM Meenakshi is unmuting. Yes, to you.
I don't think there is any originality that can be applied on table topics actually. The form that we fill up in for table topics is only on eligibility. Though the form also talks about originality, because see, you are going to speak whatever comes to your mind at that point of time. It can be unfortunately, the experience that you have had can match with someone else's experience. So even it happens in international speech also. I think it happened in one of the contests in international level. I think Presian, in his semi-final speech, the decision was delayed for almost half an hour because the story that he used had a resemblance of a story used by another person in some other contest. So they called him inside and he has to explain the entire story. Then they allowed, and they agreed that yes, this is his experience. So in table topics, I'm not sure that there is something called originality. So I hope I answered you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Any panelists want to add for this question? Anything you want to add? Any panelists, or shall I close this question? Thank you very much. So I don't see any questions here. Any questions, please? I'll give 2 minutes to the audience. You can unmute and ask the questions. Just 2 minutes. Your time starts now.
That's actually a table topics in disguise.
Yes. Yes.
Table topics for audience.
No, one of the club we had table topic. We said whatever, when announced, brought the member and told topic is whatever you want to talk, you talk. He could not talk actually because he was gathering ideas. So the topic was that. So it happens sometimes. So there's a question from Toastmaster Muhammad Vikaruddin. I am doing journal, but topic out of the box, how to respond? I didn't understand this question of you.
I got the question.
Yeah, please.
I got the question. So I think what he means to say is, even if I'm journaling, how suddenly a topic comes up, how will I connect it with what I write in my journal? So what I actually do is, for example, this topic on fear, like I began to think as our speakers were speaking that, what is it that I fear? And what are my thoughts on fear? At this moment, I feel like I'm blank. So I immediately thought that tonight I'll write in my journal, what are the things that I fear? I often wonder, topics on success. I really don't have strong ideas about success. For me, success isn't about money. Then what is it about? So I write down this in my journal that to me, success means so and so. And then sometimes it takes me back to what my parents taught me. So my father used to say so and so. This helps me understand myself and what are my views and opinions on certain issues. If I don't do this, in the past, what used to happen is when suddenly a topic is thrown at me, I would want to speak for it and I would want to speak against it at the same time. It creates a lot of confusion in your head and I would go blank and it would be a garbled response. So therefore, journaling on whatever topics that or whatever questions that bother you the most, write about those, and you will find your answers.
Thank you. There's one more question just popped in from Toastmaster Farooq Kadir. Can you expound on the recommendation by Toastmaster International to share the table topic question on screen or virtual environment? What it means, can we display the question on screen for virtual environment?
I'm sure the recommendation can be sent to Toastmasters International, yes. If or request can be sent. If they think it is fine, they will respond. I mean, yes. Of course, it's not in our hands, so yeah. Definitely we can ask the district.
I would like to add that because table topic is one of the listening skill more, and so far we only emphasize on table topic, and because there is a rule, you cannot ask more than 2 times.
Yes.
So when that rule implies, display doesn't come to that rule. As Toastmaster Snail said, it's a good idea. What Toastmaster Farooq said, virtually it may happen because we are far, we are not in same room. We can write this to Toastmaster International and get the things clarified. That's great. Thank you very much. So I feel our session concluded. Before that, I want to thank one more person who was with us backstage. That's Timer, Toastmaster Roshni Murli. Can you come on video, please? Toastmaster Roshni, can we see? Is it possible to see you on video? Yeah, thank you very much. Because this session, when I sent her moderator's flow card, lot of confusion were there. Timing in between, I had put a lot of timing criteria. She made it very efficiently. Thank you, Toastmaster Roshni, for supporting us this session. And I thank organizers for giving us this opportunity to be with you all, to engage, to express and educate wonderful excellence aspects of table topics. And I thank Toastmaster Nasrin and Toastmaster Vishwanath. As Toastmaster Vishwanath said, coming together is a progress. It's not only progress, enjoyment. I enjoyed all this panel for last 3-4 days. It was very nice working with you all. Before going, finally, a work for audience. Let's move all from this. You can see all of you. There is a reaction button in your Zoom down. I'll remove each our panels from the spotlight. A small.
Sorry to interrupt. Our District Director, DTM Mohammed Salim, has raised his hand.
Okay, okay. Is there any questions? Yes, District Director. Can you please unmute? Can you please unmute? I think he's saying is no questions. Maybe by mistake he raised the hand.
No. Okay, sorry. I couldn't unmute myself because the host has muted actually. There is just a suggestion actually. We might take it further if the ExCom agrees. There is one thing what we normally have the ambiguity or on the topic itself, because we might say that there are breakout rooms. There might be contestants, listening to the topic through another device. There are a lot of things which come across the mind. End of the day, people might tell that the topic was revealed. Actually, there is one uniqueness. Actually, one of the way they conduct in Qatar. Actually, the table topics. What happens is that all the contestants will be in the main room. Okay, what happens is that the contest chair will announce the topic, and all the contestants will be recording the speeches and sending it back within, say, 1 minute. They have to start recording, say 30 seconds, and they should send it to the contestant within the completion of their table topics. Now, what happens? This recording goes to as a judging criteria actually. So what happens here is that the topic is not being exposed to others. All of them get the same equal opportunity in a virtual platform. We can try it out. Brother Roshan, if you can take this lead, I will give you some tips on that actually. Let's try it out, not at the area contest, but as a friendly contest, we can have it and see how it really works out actually. Thank you very much.
Sure, Didi. Thank you for that wonderful suggestion. Let's try it and we'll see how the result comes, what is the difficulties and plus and minus what our contestant. At the end of the day, we always feel our contestants should be free, stress-free, and they should enjoy the contest. We'll surely work on this. And before closing, as I said, there is a reaction button in your Zoom down. So just click, you can see 6 symbols. So all Bahrain just click clap. All from Kuwait, click thumbs up. So all Bahrain, clap, and all Kuwait, thumbs up. I feel now the screen looks very beautiful. This is for the panelists and for the role players and DTAC organizing committee and for DTAC 2021. All the best. Over to you, Master of Ceremony.
Thank you, Toastmaster Roshan. That was a wonderful and a magnificent session. I'm sure the audience gained valuable tips from our experts on impromptu speaking and techniques on how to handle them effectively during the contest. And now it's time for recognition. Please give a big round of applause as we appreciate our moderator, Toastmaster Roshan Lewis.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be with you all. All the best to DTAC 2021. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, our first panelist, Toastmaster Snehal Sawant.
Thank you.
Our second panelist, Toast DTM Meenakshi Sundaram.
Thank you.
Our third panelist, Toastmaster Nilesh Atade. Thank you once again to our moderator, Toastmaster Roshan Lewis, and all our panelists. Now, before we move on to our next segment, I would like the lovely audience, I will request indeed all of you to switch on your cameras so that we can have a beautiful group picture. Toastmaster Vishwanathan, I hope you are clicking the picture.
DTM Zara wants to say something.
Yes, DTM Zara, please go ahead. DTM Zara, are you with us?
Here to see nobody opened their videos. Anyway, I took.
You need to say 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
I once again request our lovely audience to switch on their camera so that we have a beautiful group
Page
picture.
1, 2, 3, done. Page 2 with a half, 1, 2, 3, done. Sorry, page 3 now. Second one is over. Number 3 now. Most of them are closed their videos. Done.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Vishwanathan. Now, as we are running late, we will not go for our 5 minutes break and we continue with our next segment. Without further ado, let's move on to our evaluation session. And for that, we have a wonderful moderator and a beautiful team of panelists. Pessimists always look at the negativity, whereas an opportunist draws the positive attribute from the worst situation. And probably that's what evaluation is all about. So to draw out the positive strengths and give recommendations through an analytical overview, today we have our wonderful panelist, which will give us a deeper insight and tips on effective evaluation. And to give you the entree to evaluation excellence, we have amongst us our moderator. She is a cocktail of two nationalities, Palestinian by blood and Jordanian by nationality. Born and raised in Kuwait, she holds a bachelor's degree and is also an MBA in human resources. Currently, she works as a team leader, academic advisor at the American University. She has been a Toastmaster since 2015, and she has won the Toastmaster of the Year award for the term 2017-18. A member of 4 clubs, and also currently a part of the CGT team as the Kuwait coordinator. Not only this year, but she has been the part of the club growth team for past 3 consecutive years. She is one of the most affluent Toastmaster to guide you when it comes to conducting an open house. Let's welcome our moderator for table topic segment, for evaluation segment, distinguished Toastmaster Ola Rashid. DTM Ola, the floor is all yours.
Thank you so much, Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Vijal, dignitaries, District 20 leaders, area directors, division directors, and all the members from Kuwait and Bahrain. Good evening for all of you. As we have witnessed the first part of today's session from DTAC 2021 about table topics, it is the time to introduce you to another phase, which is the evaluation. Now, evaluation in Toastmasters is not just to give a feedback about your own performance as a speaker or a leader, but at the same time, it is an art. And today we have 4 musketeers who will introduce 4 topics about evaluation. I will not make it that much longer, and we will kick off directly to their sessions. Now, at the beginning, we will have a small introduction about evaluation, constructive feedback, and psychological perspective of evaluation. And to do that, we have a Toastmasters who has been in this community since 2011. Currently, he is serving as an Area 17 director in Kuwait, and he is the president of a Critical Thinkers Toastmasters Club and the immediate president for Elite Debaters. The year 2018, it was his year as he won the first place in the evaluation speech contest. At the same time, he won as a Kuwait debate team the first ever regional debate contest conference held between Kuwait, Dubai, Qatar, and Bahrain. He is a mentor and aspiring public speaker and also conducts various evaluation and debate workshops within GCC region. By profession, a logistic and supply chain professional managing the freight commercial desk with Agility Logistics in Kuwait. Now, before I introduce him, just to remind the 4 musketeers that you need to pin our own timer, Roshni Morley. You have a time from 5 to 7 minutes to introduce your topics. So, fellow Toastmasters, District 20 members, it is the time to tell you what is evaluation, what is constructive feedback, and what are the psychological perspectives of evaluation. It is my pleasure to welcome our own champion, Toastmaster Prince George. Prince George.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and evaluators. Thank you, moderator, for such a warm welcome. Well, evaluation is really close to my heart, and I believe that it's something that we experience in our everyday lives. So the LIFE, life, is also about evaluation. Now, whether you talk about being with your friends, your family, your colleagues, you will realize that everywhere as human beings, we are being judged, we are being evaluated. Just some time back when my clothes were outside, my wife was evaluating me saying that, this is how you always do it. Why don't you just hang your shirt at the right place? That's evaluation. I thought I will teach her about constructive feedback, but I thought I'll just leave it for this discussion rather than discussing with my wife. So that's what life is about. It has evaluation everywhere. Now, evaluation in Toastmasters. Now, what I would like to really highlight in this is evaluation not only helps the target speaker, but it also helps the evaluator. You may wonder how. So, as a target speaker, when you are being evaluated, the most important gain that you have from an evaluation is that you realize your gaps. You realize what you need to do to become a better version of yourself. You know how to step up your performance as a speaker and become a much better version 2.0 of yourself. That's one side of it. There's another part of it which is called positive reinforcement. I could be really good at something, but until someone tells me, hey, listen, you are exceptionally good with this, that self confidence is not going to build. So if someone gives me that positive reinforcement as an evaluator, as a target speaker, I feel, wow, this is good about me. I need to build on this, right? So that's how it helps a target speaker, where an evaluator analyzes what the target speaker spoke and provides feedback for improvement as well as positive reinforcement, right? So that's in a nutshell how it helps a target speaker. Now, how does it help an evaluator? As an evaluator, always look at yourself as a man, or an elderly person who's helping a baby cross a road. What would you do? You would give your hand and say, hold my hand, let me help you cross that road, right? That's what we would do. So as an evaluator, that's what you do. You help, you assist, you become a mentor, you become a guide, you help the other person grow. It's a huge responsibility on your shoulders as an evaluator. Now, talking about the psychological aspects of evaluation, let me show you something. Just if I can just quickly share my screen to look at this image. I hope everyone can see this image. Moderator, can you show me a thumbs up if the image is visible? Perfect. So this image is of Superman. Now, what I want everyone here and potential evaluators in the upcoming contest to realize is that when you come as an evaluator, you're not the Superman. The Superman is your target speaker, right? This is a takeaway I want you to have from this discussion that we're having. And the reason being that we have to get the highlight on the target speaker, help the target speaker become a much better version of himself or herself before we leave the stage. It's not about us as evaluators. It's about how we empathize, is how we contribute to the life of a target speaker and make his future in Toastmasters as a public speaker or in any platform as a public speaker, right? So it's a huge responsibility on our shoulders. That's the first thing. The second part in the psychological aspect is the heart and mind balance. Now, this is something we learn as evaluators, where we learn not to get too emotional or too sensitive towards feedback, while we balance it with the intellectual part of your feedback as well. So you need to think from your mind as much as you think from your heart, and give a feedback as per that. The minute we tilt either towards too much emotion or towards too much of intellect, we're going to mess up that evaluation. We need to strike a balance on that front, and that's what the heart mind balance is all about. Now to the final part of what I want to speak about is the constructive feedback. Now for this, again, I want you to have a view. Moderator, if you could just show me a thumbs up if my screen is visible. Yes? Okay. Now for those of you who can see this very clearly, you can see a couple of chocolate fudge pieces topped with a chili, right? So always keep in mind that this is what your evaluation is going to be. So the pieces of chocolate fudge that you can see, as tasty and desirable as they look, are the positive reinforcements that you're going to give your target speaker, because it's very important to lift that confidence of your speaker, right? And the chili on top is the not such a great part, but the area of improvement that you're going to give your target speaker, which your target speaker is going to look at as, hey, if I do this, I am going to become excellent. I'm going to be wonderful. I'm going to be the best at what I'm going to do. So the chili on top is your area of improvement, which you are also going to give your target speaker. You forget any one of these and you've not done justice as an evaluator. So you need to ensure that you give the chocolate fudge and the chili both together. That's what constructive feedback is all about. Do it well and see your target speaker grow as an excellent speaker in the future, and you'll be satisfied as an evaluator. Over to you, moderator. Thank you.
Okay, I was trying to unmute myself. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Prince George. I will always remember the chocolate fudge and the chili to heat it up. So after knowing the what is evaluation and the what is constructive feedback, it is the time to know what is the speech structure of your evaluation and the time management. And for this, we have a person who has been in Toastmasters for 6 years. He is an immediate past president of Sri Lanka Club Symposium Toastmasters, which is the third oldest Toastmasters club in Bahrain. He has been a professional trainer, mentor, and coach for the last 17 years. But you still look young. Training clients in Sri Lanka, Bahrain, Dubai, Jordan, Kuwait, and KSA. He is a Triple Crown winner, and guess what? 2020 was his year as he was District 20 champion for the evaluation speech contest and the runner-up for the humorous speech contest. Fellow Toastmasters, it is my pleasure to present for you the distinguished Toastmasters, Hisham Jeffrey.
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator, fellow Toastmasters. We have 7 minutes in order to look at speech structure and time management. Let's get into it. When we speak about speech structure, Toastmasters International is very clear with regard to structure. You've got to have an attention-grabbing opening, transition, and then you go into the body. In this situation, in evaluation, the body of your speech is going to be two parts. The first is analysis, then you go transition. Where do you transition to? The second part of the body. What's the second part of the body? Any guesses? It would be your recommendation. And then finally, number 3, you go and you transition into your summary. You will see these words are highlighted in red, and that's for a particular reason, because someone is going to mention it a little later in one of the presentations. So let's summarize. Opening, transition, analyze, transition, go to your recommendations, transition, and then you summarize. But that's all fluff. Let's go to the practical stuff. Let's apply. Put your hands together. Please welcome your test speaker, none other than somebody that you all very well know, Nelson Mandela. Mr. Mandela, the stage is yours, and this is the test speech. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Thank you very much, Mr. Test Speaker. Let's go on to the evaluation. What an amazing message. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, Mr. Nelson Mandela, our test speaker. In the analysis of this speech, we can see that there are 3 great points. Number 1, you used a quotation from a famous individual and you emphasized on the very important words, never and but. Also, very importantly, you paused at 3 points, which was every time we fall. In order to improve, everybody would be able to relate to you if you used your 27 years in jail to tell us a personal story that could add some value to this from your eyes alone. In summary, great use of a quote and pauses. If you add the personal story, this speech will surely go to another level. Ladies and gentlemen, evaluation is a speech, and you need to have an opening, body, conclusion, and a summary. The second part of our discussion goes to time management. Time and tide wait for no one. So how do you manage the time? It is through the timing lights. 2 to 3 minutes. Let's get into it. You are allowed 2 to 3 minutes, and the 3 lights, the traffic lights will flash at 1 minute, green, at 1.5 minutes, amber or yellow, depending on which one you want to choose. And of course, at 2 minutes, red, which means you stop. The last thing you want to do is go 1 second over time and get disqualified. Now, how can you manage time? And this is the greatest secret that possibly that I can give you. How do you manage time? Here we go. I hope you're ready. Every time you speak, you've got to respect the time. Your eyes get used to the lights. Your mind tells you you've got to summarize, you've got to stop. If you practice this philosophy, the timing lights will bear you no fear. Again, let's get to a simple guide. Your opening would probably last you about 10 to 20 seconds. As always, ask yourself the question, what should your opening be? Toastmasters International tells us your opening should be attention grabbing. So go ahead, explore, grab that attention. Then you transition. What's the most famous transition that you could use in order to have a cheat code in evaluation? Your easy transition is Mr. Contest Chair, Madam Contest Chair. Then you go into the analysis. What does analysis mean in English? Your strengths and weaknesses of the test speaker. What was good about it? What was not so good about it? Then you transition. What's the transition? In order to improve, in order to take this speech to the next level, you transition to what? The recommendations. Practical, relatable, applicable recommendations that are related to the speaker and that test speech. Voice, stage, facial expressions, gestures, smile, vocal, variety, pauses. And then you transition to the important part of the summary. How do you signal that you're summarizing in summary, and then you summarize? Remember, your last words linger. Therefore, you end with a bang. 10 to 20 seconds opening, you transition, your recommendations, green, little bit of amber is fine, but then you start to end at the red, red, red. I'm at green now, so I want to leave you with this particular message. Table topics, you stand and talk. Humorous, you stand and talk. International, you stand and talk. Evaluation is a different game. Why? Test speaker, 5 minutes of notes, isolation room, then you come in and deliver the speech. Evaluation is a different game. So I hope your tools are sharp and ready to go. Thank you, good luck, and I wish you God bless you all. Thank you, and back to you, Madam Moderator.
Thank you so much, DTM Hisham Jeffrey, for this presentation. After knowing about the structure of our speech and we did it correctly with the correct time, there is some people in the audience, they do have small files that we cannot recognize them as the judges. So these judges, they do have a certain judging palette. And there are certain criteria they do judge every single speaker, whoever present on the stage or before them. For this, we do have a Toastmasters who has been in this community for 5 years. He is a member of Sanabis Toastmasters Club. His contest journey was pushed into the evaluation contest by the Vice President of Education of his club, after which there was no turning back from club, area, division to the district contest, and the journey still continues. For this part, to know more about the judging palette for the evaluation speech contest, we do have a Toastmaster, Vivek Tilakan.
My voice is audible right now? Okay, great. So I not only use all the brains that I have, but all the brains that I can borrow. Woodrow Wilson. Now I specifically use this quote because I want to get your focus onto 3 points. Number 1, the judges. Number 2, their thinking. And number 3, recruit their brains onto your side, also known as recruit them as your cheerleaders. Now, specifically decoding judging. Surprisingly, the judges are humans, and surprisingly, they are Toastmasters as well. So as long as these 2 conditions are met, I think there's a method to the madness. And I'm here to actually make sure that this method is out there and for you. Now, number one, let's speak about what's the outlook of a general judge. What does a judge expect? A judge expects you to come over, makes up an intro, expects you to give positive points, expects you to give points for improvement, expects a summary, and that's it. Now there are a lot more judges who gives a lot more or expects a lot more. He has different criteria, but a significant majority of them agree upon these 3 points. I just wanted to put it all out so that we can go through things later, keeping this in mind. Now, what am I going to speak about? The judging sheet, there are 4 branches and an outline. Pretty simple. Now, this is the judging sheet. As simple as that. Just 4 criteria: analytical quality, 40 marks, recommendations, 30, technique, 15, summation, 15, 100 marks. Done. Now let's speak about analysis. See, what's a speecher? A speaker is a professional reminder, but the ones that go beyond share a nugget that you are unfamiliar with. So that's your role, to bring out that nugget, and that lies in your analysis. Now, here is where the first rule of analysis comes in. What stood out and why it stood out? It should be very simple and easily digestible method. Now, in a clear and logical analysis, we can divide it into green zone and yellow zone. Green zone is the positive points. Yellow zone is the area for improvement. Possible that you may think the yellow zone or your analysis stops with the positive sides alone. Now, it is actually distributed among the green and the yellow, the positives as well as the areas for improvement. All right. Now, what is the normal analysis about? Whether you had humor, vocal variety, your stage presence or your virtual stage management, and these kind of pauses, these are the regular things. My suggestion, go beyond. For a deeper take, comment on the content. I'll tell you, what is the bedrock of a speech? It's a situation, it's a complication, it's a resolution. This is the basics of a speech itself. Speak how each part progressed about that. What was the situation, the complication, resolution, what picked out or what stood out among this. Now, this is a little bit of a deeper analysis. Another example. Now, what's the universal template? Emotion before reason. Why? Because humans are more irrational than they are rational. So delve into how the emotions was interplayed amongst you or what you had experienced, and then go into the logic or the reasoning which you can expound in your message. This is something of a deeper take in your analysis. You're commenting on the content. Next, recommendations. 30 marks. Very quick, specific, practical. It should be practical. And whatever you recommend, make sure that it works. If you're going to recommend something, give an example of how that particular one works out. For example, speech title. Some titles give the speech idea right away. So when you're going to say, give a better speech title, suggest a particular title that picks the interest, but still does its job. So this is an example of how you can provide a recommendation. Give an example, a living, breathing example. That's why I mentioned solutions as well as benefits of solutions, because you're justifying your solution here. All right. If it's a radical idea, begin with a universally accepted premise, and then you can gradually decrease to a revolutionary concept. So that's how you give an example of a recommendation. If your positives are 3, just 2 recommendations would do. Technique. Effect of the speech is related positively, meaningfully, but you're not whitewashing. You're giving your honest opinion, and you'll find even the littlest thing possible positive, you relay that. You just put a magnifying glass on it, but never whitewash. So next, which I have to say is already spoken about Hisham, which was managing your time, and he did it really well. I'll skip over to the next. I'll give an example, begin and end with impact. Here is a example that I used with the next panelist, Faraz Farouk. He had come over with a speech wherein the speech title was Seasoned Traveler. It was his experience in a plane. So the end of my speech, I said, at the beginning of your speech, I knew you as a seasoned traveler, but at the end, I knew you as a seasoned speaker. That's where you're tying up with everything. This is how you can expound upon a technique, create something related to the content and make it memorable. This is how you can manage your technique, give an impact. Next, manage your rhythm. For example, transition, just as important as what is right and what is your preview, and what could be is the next. So you will have to review what you had said and preview what comes later. Next is the summation, last but not the least. I've seen quite a few Toastmasters do not summarize at all, and unfortunately they are being marked out of 85, not out of 100. This 15 marks goes zero. It's pretty simple. Just say your 3 positives, your 2 recommendations, and how that speech impacted you. You're done. If you have absolutely nothing to say, just say to summarize and say them some nonsense. Maybe you'll get 3 marks. That's enough. Take that 3 marks and go. It's better than 0. This is a simple speech outline. Name, speech, and speaker name. The beginning, the speech map or the speech arc, your positives, your negatives, your justification, additional remarks, and your closing remarks or the final remarks. This is more or less a very simple way to affect judging. And with that, I hope you all enjoyed it. Everything's well that ends well. And at the end of the day, like what Prince George said, Superman is not you, it's your target speaker. He may be the hero, but you should win best costume. You're putting in the makeup. With that, DTM Ola.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vivek, for this interesting presentation about the judging palette. Now, after hearing our 3 first musketeers, we still have our 4th musketeer. Now, he will tell us what we have to do and what we should not do. At the same time, how we can prepare our evaluation checklist. Now, what seems impossible to many people, for him is easily possible. He has held all the 7 XCOM positions in the club. Where many strive to manage with one club, he has proved his superhuman abilities by being a member in 5 clubs in District 20 and 2 clubs in District 82. As a leader, he has proved his abilities by serving at both division and district level. As a speaker, he has bagged awards in all the 4 categories of contests at the club, area, division, and district level. By profession, he is a chartered accountant. Our champion of the champions, our distinguished Toastmaster all the way from Sri Lanka, if I'm not mistaken, distinguished Toastmaster Farhad Farouk.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Madam Moderator. Dear friends, so it's contest time, and it's time that we all get ready to sharpen our little blades, and we look around into the battlefield, and then we turn around and go home. Is it? No. We march ahead. I'm lucky because I had 3 great exponents of evaluation coming before me, and they have kind of laid the foundation. So I just need to just sprinkle a bit of mirchi masala, a bit of icing, a bit of sugar. I just put everything that comes to my mind, and we'll try to make a meal out of it. So friends, I got to do the do's and don'ts. And what I propose to do for the initial 5 minutes is to look at 5 different types of do's and don'ts. And in the last 2 minutes or so, let's try to spend on the evaluation checklist. So help me God. First and foremost, do's. The first few I'm going to just rattle through because they have been touched on in some way or the other. An evaluation is an honest reaction, an honest feedback by you, the evaluator. It's your personal opinion and nobody else's. So we need to get that clear. You will be giving an honest opinion. You have to be as constructive and as sympathetic and as friendly as you can towards the speaker. Don't be threatening. Try to be non-threatening in the way you present it. Don't order the person around. You should not do this, so you should not have done that. It's not the evaluator's place to be ordering people around. Let's get to the don'ts of this. Don't be judgmental. Of course, I said don't be threatening. And let us try not to go to either extremes of evaluation, which is one extreme we have complete whitewash and the other extreme complete write-off. Don't have either of these two extremes. Let's stick to the median point. So don't write off and don't whitewash, don't sugarcoat. Stick to the middle point, because remember, whilst we are trying to talk about the good, we should also give some value back to the speaker in terms of recommendations. So let's stick to the golden mean rather than being two. So that's the first set of do's and don'ts out. Nextly, just to cover up on one point I raised, you speak as an evaluator for yourself. It's your personal opinion, so you should say how you felt. I felt good. I felt engaged with the speaker. The speaker's theme resonated with me. This is important. Speak for yourself and speak to the audience. What do I mean by that? Sometimes evaluators make the mistake of talking only to the speaker. Mr. Speaker, you should have done this. Mr. Speaker, this is, you speak, don't speak only to the speaker, because remember, we are doing an evaluation in front of an audience and there'll be 100, 200 people if it's a DTAC. You should speak to the audience. So speak about the speaker in third person. Speak about the speaker, but not to the speaker. Do not speak on behalf of your audience. We felt that we were being left out. We did not feel. Who are you to speak on behalf of the audience? It is your opinion, and your opinion is not the audience's opinion, and the audience has every right to differ with your opinion. So you don't speak on behalf of the audience. Another thing that you should bear in mind in the don'ts is don't repeat the speech, because an evaluation is not a summarization of a speech. We spend 5 to 7 minutes listening to a speech, and the audience is not seated there expecting a 2 to 3 minute summary from the evaluator. They've already done that. Also, do not interpret the speech for the audience. Again, evaluation time is evaluation time, not interpretation time. The audience has heard the speech, they are smart, they have understood the speech, and they will interpret it themselves. It's not the evaluator's job. We have to evaluate. So second set of do's and don'ts are done. Then the third set of do's: listen to the speech, observe the speaker very carefully, take notes, note what the speaker is doing, understand what the speaker is saying. If you want to take detailed notes, if you want to take summarized notes, if you don't want to, don't take any notes, depending on your style, whatever you are comfortable with. You should know what is your preferred style, stick to that, and I'll get to how you would know what is your style. Remember, when you're looking at a speech, you should look for what you saw, what you heard, and what you felt. These are the three things generally that you look for. Do not spend time on basics, looking for basics and eye contact, and you walk confidently. Everybody's going to say that. And once you get to district stage, we have gone way past all of those. Do not spend time on unnecessaries like, oh, the speaker did a great job, let's give him a big clap. You waste 15 seconds on the clap. That's vital time on a district stage. So lesson is, don't spend time on unnecessary stuff and minor things, because that's a waste of valuable time. The next do's that I want to tell you is, please refer to the evaluation ballot. The budget, it's budget season in Sri Lanka, and I'm an accountant, so the word budget is in my head. Look at the evaluation ballot, because that's the only way you will know. And it's simple: 40% for analytical, 30% for recommendation, 15 for technique, and 15 for summary. But don't stop only at that. Please also look at the ballot of the international speech and the humorous speech also, because that is going to give you ideas on what to evaluate on. Don'ts. Do not go with pre-prepared evaluations, because every speech is unique. And believe me, once you get to district stage, if you come with a pre-prepared evaluation, everybody and their cat will know you came with a pre-prepared evaluation. So please give respect to the speech. Every speech is unique, and evaluate what you saw. Pre-prepared evaluations, it's very easy to identify. Don't do that. I am not lying to you. I have seen people practicing evaluations 2 days before the contest, and you can't do that because the speech could be totally different. Last but not least, do practice for evaluations before the contest. And how do you do that? Look at speeches of world champions, look at speeches on YouTube from other speakers from other clubs all around the world, and genuinely sit and evaluate it under contest conditions. Spend the 5 minutes taking notes and present it in 2 to 3 minutes and see how you can. The don't for this is, don't wing it. You need to know what you're doing. You need to know the ballot. You need to know the evaluation technique. So don't think you can get on the district stage, just listen to a speech and go and speak for 2 to 3 minutes and become a district evaluation champion. You cannot do that. Quick checklists on how you prepare. And I know it's red light. Sorry, Madam Timer or Mr. Timer. It's Madam Timer. I'm in Sri Lanka, so even if you want, you can't punch me, and I'm going to still speak as much as I want. But I promise I'll be just another minute more. For the checklist, what I usually do is I split my paper. I'm talking about at the contest. I split my paper into the various sections, and normal things that I look for are how the opening was. Are there any characters? Was there any dialogue? What was the central message? How was the transitions? How were the movements? Things like that, general things. And for that, the ballot should guide you. The international speech ballot should guide you. What I do is I put a few boxes and I start taking notes and all of those. And during the 5 minutes, I try to put all of those together in the form of a speech. So for the checklist, I would recommend that you do that. And of course, before this, you need to practice with proper speeches, looking at speeches and going through the 5 minutes and 2 minutes yourself. And during the day, come well pumped up, and I would wish you all the very best. I think I will stop now and hand over control back to the moderator, because I do get in trouble with time with contest season coming up.
Thank you so much, DTM, Farhaz, Farouk, for this beautiful, full of a humorous session. Now, members of District 20, after these 4 musketeers giving you the secrets of evaluation, I do believe that all of us, we are ready to compete, right? Hopefully that you are. Let's fire it up this year with DTAC 2021. Now, we can have, I do believe, for the coordinators, we can have 5 minutes for a question and an answer session. Yes, no, Nasreen, Vishwana, we can have 5 minutes.
Yes, DTM Ola Rashid, we can have 5 minutes.
Perfect. So tell the people, share their questions through the chat. I would like to ask you questions. Now, for DTM Hisham, is the evaluation speech contest preparation is the same for the other speech contests like the international, the table topics, and the humorous speech contest?
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. It's a great question. Many people assume that the preparation for evaluation is similar to table topics. In other words, you do minimum preparation. I would believe that even with evaluation, it's really important to remember that it is evaluation speech contest. So in order to evaluate also, it is a muscle that you build over a period of time. So evaluate everything inside, evaluate songs, evaluate signboards, evaluate newspapers, evaluate your boss, evaluate how the tea boy says good morning. Because if you keep on building that, you could see facial expressions, gestures, then it becomes part of your natural armory. So yes, it is different in that it is a different set of skills you're looking to analyze, recommend, technique, and summarize. So in presenting this speech, the analytical quality needs to be practiced, broadened, deepened, and then polished so that on day 365, you're not delivering day 365's quality, you're delivering 365 days worth of full quality. I hope that answers your question. Back to you.
Thank you so much. Now, the question for DTM Farhaz. Genuine evaluations are given to help the speaker. There are usually unstructured evaluations. Why should the evaluation at a contest follow a structure to be really, as we call it, constructive speech? Why it really should be have a construction?
Thank you, Madam Moderator. I would suggest and warmly recommend, even when we do evaluations outside speech contests, like say at a club or elsewhere, also the evaluation should follow the structure. For a number of reasons. One thing is, of course, by following the structure at a club meeting, we would in a way be preparing ourselves for a contest eventually. So that gives us the training, and it's the same brain muscle power which DTM Hisham just now alluded to. We have to build it up. So that's one good reason. However, in addition to that, leaving contests aside, because at the end of the day, Toastmasters is where we actually learn, having a structured approach to evaluation would make us follow a structured approach in generally anything and everything that we do. And so following this structured approach will build that level of confidence, level of structure, being focused, being orderly, being methodical in what we would do. So that is, in my opinion, a lot more important. And therefore, following a structure is something I would strongly recommend from beginning to the end. Be it for contest or be it even at the club level. And if there are unstructured evaluations by anyone at a club level, I might approach that person quietly after the meeting and say, hey, maybe next time, why don't you follow a structured approach? And for these reasons, 1, 2, 3, and I would probably kind of guide them. So my strong recommendation is let it be structured. If there are unstructured evaluations for any reason at a club level, it could potentially be because the evaluator and the speaker have had a discussion and the speaker said, just concentrate only on this or just concentrate only on that. So you don't need to give me a full thing. So if that is what is happening, the audience may think it's unstructured, but it's actually not. Between the speaker and the evaluator, there is a structure they are following. I guess I kind of tried to cover the whole
Thank you so much, DTM Farhaz. There is a question they are asking, what is the difference type of evaluation in terms of a club area and international level? How to improve memory level, make picture in our mind? I do believe maybe Toastmaster Prince can answer this question. Would you like me to repeat it? Or
Yes, yes, moderator. If you can repeat the second question, actually.
what is the difference type of evaluation in terms of a club, area, and international level?
Okay, so for evaluation in a club and everything that is different from a club, once you move beyond your club, the specific difference is your club evaluations are specifically based on speech objectives. So before you deliver a speech, you would be in touch with your evaluator, where you would discuss your speech objectives. Your evaluator, as a well-wisher, would give you some recommendations, suggestions on how you could go about your speech. Like DTM Farhaz rightly mentioned, there may be an agreement between the evaluator and the speaker in advance as to what he should really do in that speech for the improvement of the target speaker, of course, and based on which the target speaker delivers the speech. The minute you move ahead into a contest part of evaluation, there is no speech objectives you're focusing on. It's a total 360-degree evaluation. So you as an evaluator would be looking at every aspect of the speech, project one to project infinity. Everything is included in that sphere of your influence as an evaluator. So you just segregate, just to summarize again, the habit of summary from evaluation doesn't stop. So it goes back even in answering questions as a panelist. So just to summarize, your evaluation in the club is purely based on speech objectives, whereas in any contest, right from the club up to infinity, is based on an overall 360-degree evaluation. That's what the difference in evaluation is. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Prince. And as Toastmaster Vivek spoke about the judging ballot, there is one question says stage usage is not in the judging ballot, but does it affect how judges award points, especially in the higher tier competition?
Right. Thank you, DTM Ola. If you look at the judging ballot itself, among the four of them, the first one, analysis, the second one, recommendation, or the fourth one, summary, there's no really a place where the stage presence plays a major role, does it? We don't need to knock down points there. But if a judge is really irritated by your, by jumping out of the screen, let's say, and coming in front of you and breathing before him, I'm pretty sure he might not like your technique. So he can knock down points there. In short, the stage presence, if you want to make it effective, you don't need to overdo it. Ultimately, it's not how you don't need to actually play the circus to put forward your points. It's enough that you make it effective, pointed, and it's your speech that matters, not your actions. So if a judge truly is irritated by your, let's say, stage monkeying around, he can knock down points in technique. I'm not sure how much he can knock down, but he can, if he's really determined, he can do that. But apart from that, what I would suggest is make it reasonable so that the judge is inclined to give you marks, not take down marks. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vivek. There is other questions, but I do believe we are out of time, or we can have like 1 minute to ask one question. We can have 1 minute. Okay, now anyone can answer this question. How to improve memory level? Make picture in our mind about the target speaker. Who would like to answer this question? I will not choose. I'm democratic.
I forgot the question. Can you repeat it?
How to improve memory?
That's your answer, moderator. That's your answer.
You have to improve it somehow. Like how to improve your memory about the full speech for any target speaker, so you can evaluate the target.
I think the best person is DTM Hisham, because he's the only one who I've seen up on stage without a piece of paper.
Madam Moderator, so I'll try to answer that question.
Yeah.
And the simple thing is, we remember what we really enjoy. So if you truly enjoy two things, you will remember the test speaker's speech. Number one, if you really enjoy the fine art of evaluation, as DTM Muhammad Shukri mentions, you will remember the test speaker's speech. Number two, if you truly want to give value to the test speaker, you will remember the test speaker's speech. So if it truly is something that you want to be good at, if it is something that you truly want to excel at, it doesn't become a profession, it becomes a pleasure. It doesn't become a vocation, it becomes a vacation. So I hope that answers your question. Back to you.
I would like to add to it, if time permits.
30 seconds.
All right, I'll make it quick. Now, you might have heard of the frog being kept in the boiling water. You slowly increase the temperature and then it doesn't know it's being boiled. Now, similar to that, what humans very easily catch is changes, change in the type of a content that you remember. You may, if it's very slowly done, you may not remember. You'll remember the change. Just remember 4 or 5 changes, whatever is the change. That's a very fast and easy method to remember the speech. Over to you.
Thank you so much for our 4 musketeers who saved us and gave us techniques about evaluation. Before handing this event to our MC, I would love to thank Toastmaster Nisreen and Vishwanath for this opportunity. Good luck for all the organizers, the chair of DTAC and the vice chair of DTAC. Good luck for the full team. Thank you so much for having me tonight, and good night, and back to you, to our beautiful master of ceremony, Toastmaster Bijal.
DTM Ola Rashid, for that enthralling segment. It was a great session, and a big thank you to all our expert panelists for those valuable tips for our contestants. They all deserve a big round of applause. And may we now appreciate our moderator first with the appreciation certificate. DTM Ola Rashid. Next is our first panelist, DTM Prince George. Our second panelist, DTM Hisham Jifri. Our third panelist, Toastmaster Vivek Tilakan. And our last and final panelist, DTM Farhaz Farooq. Thank you so much to each one of you once again. At the end, it does not matter where we start, but it does matter where we ended. And I'm sure each one of us here has become a bit familiar now with DTAC 2021 team and has also taken some tips on performing effective evaluation and handling impromptu speeches. With that, I take this opportunity to thank the leaders, the entire organizing committee of DTAC 2021, who has been tirelessly working to put up this great show today, our panelists, our moderators, timer, host, and most importantly, the spectacular audience. And before I say goodbye to all of you, let's all switch on our cameras and have a beautiful group picture.
Yes. All are there. Can we have the...
One,
Hello,
two,
Khalid, put
three.
it back on. Khalid, put it
One,
back. Put
two,
the camera back
three.
on.
Only 2 screens this time. One screen fully gone. So this time we got everyone with unmute mode. Kudos to you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thanks to each one of you. It was
Thank
a
you.
wonderful session, both table topics and evaluation, wonderful segments.
Thank you to all the panelists,
Thank you
everyone.
all the panelists.
Well done.
Lovely
Thank you.
event.
Good
Well
night.
done.
Take care.
Everyone, and good luck for everyone.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye to all of you.
And
Goodbye.
good night.
Everybody, all the best. And see you in the next event.
Inshallah.
Thank you.
All the best.
Well done, Master of the Ceremonies, Toastmaster
Yes,
Bijal.
well done, Bijal.
Excellent.
Thank you,
Excellent.
Jahangir. Thank you, Rosaline ma'am.
Before
Toastmaster Zahra, well done. We're not
Yes.
two
Marketing.
awards we missed, our Sarjan Tam and timer, please.
Yeah.
Give the award.
Well done, Alvin. Good work,
Yes, the
Alvin.
man behind the show.
Alvin,
Thank
good
you,
job.
Alvin.
Yes.
And the timer.
Yes, thank you, timer.
Alvin, please display your
Elvin, I think the audience
Alvin,
Timer
wants
Roshni,
themselves to
well
be
done.
on. We can unmute them.
Yeah, unmute everyone.
Yes.
Thank you all. Nasreen and Vishwanath, well done. Toastmaster Yunus
Yes.
and Zara, well done.
Well done. Yes, they do a great job.
great
Thank you
teamwork.
all.
Stop